Have you ever doubted yourself and lost confidence along the way?
You weren't born doubting yourself. It was injected into you from the place that was supposed to feel safest, your family.
Every raised eyebrow, every "we just want what's best," every moment love felt warmer when you succeeded
And colder when you didn't.
That's not guidance, that's conditioning. And it's why, even today, your biggest fear isn't failure. It's disappointing someone whose approval still lives in your head. Most families never mean to do this. They guide, they protect. But when acceptance subtly shifts based on outcomes, something changes in the nervous system. Psychologists call this conditional positive regard, where worth feels attached to performance. Children don't question it, they adapt. They learn, I'm good when I succeed. I'm risky when I don't. That belief doesn't disappear with age. It becomes your inner voice. The pressure didn't leave the room. It moved inside. Your brain is wired for belonging before truth. As a child, attachment matters more than authenticity, because belonging feels like survival. So when expectations clash with who you are, your brain doesn't ask, "What do I want?" It asks, "What keeps me accepted?" Over time, you absorb those expectations as your own. Psychology calls this introjected standards, values that feel personal but were adopted to preserve connection. That's why even when no one is watching, you still feel evaluated. As a child, expectations feel like structure. As an adult, they feel like pressure. Because now you're expected to know who you are. But your internal compass was trained to track approval, not alignment. So every decision feels dangerous. Every mistake feels permanent. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of losing emotional safety. That's why capable people raised with pressure often hesitate the most. You overthink simple choices. You seek reassurance even when you're capable. You confuse stress with responsibility. If a choice feels calm but unfamiliar, you doubt it. If it feels heavy but approved, it feels right. That's not intuition. That's conditioning. Anxiety learned to sound like wisdom. Here's the shift that starts healing. Disappointment is not danger. Your nervous system learned they were the same, but they're not. Your parents' fears are not universal truths. Their expectations are not moral laws. You can choose differently and still be worthy of love. Real healing begins when you separate belonging from obedience. Ever notice how the safest version of you feels the least like you? That's because somewhere along the way, you split in two. The person you show the world, and the person you actually are. Psychologists call this self-silencing, where authentic desires get buried under acceptable ones. You don't lie about who you are, you just edit. You laugh at jokes that don't land, agree with opinions you don't hold, pursue goals that sound impressive but feel hollow. And the worst part? You've done it so long, you're not even sure what's real anymore. What do I actually want becomes the hardest question to answer, because wanting something different felt dangerous, so you stopped asking. So before asking, is this the right choice? Ask instead, is this my choice or someone else's expectation? That one question rewires everything. If this helped you understand your mind better, subscribe to Heal Space.